We've talked about Hillary Clinton and the Trans-Pacific Partnership. We've also talked in the last week about the Trans-Pacific Partnership itself, which we've now gotten a look at the full text of. I got an email from a viewer saying, hey, David, in case you haven't seen this recent video with Hillary Clinton addressing the Trans-Pacific Partnership, here are some of the details. On CNN, Hillary Clinton was asked if she would use her political leverage to convince Democrats in the Senate to kill the Trans-Pacific Partnership. She flat out said, no, I'm going to state my position, which I have. The journalist pressed her and said, well, will you lobby against TPP? And she said, no. Let's take a look at the video and then we'll discuss.
As a leader in the Democratic Party, are you going to use some of your leverage to convince some Democrats not to vote for the Trans-Pacific Trade Agreement?
No, I'm going to state my position, which I have.
And you're not going to lobby one way or the other?
No, and I think that it's appropriate for the congressional leadership and members of Congress and the administration to battle that out. If they want to know what I think, I'm more than happy to tell them. I've come out against it because I don't think it will meet the test I've set, which is to create more good-paying jobs and raise incomes for Americans and further our national security. And it's particularly challenging when you have lost jobs, as I believe we have, to currency manipulation, and that is not embedded in the agreement. It's in a side agreement. It's not enforced.
Okay. Is there a criticism here? I mean, yeah, I get it. She says she's against it, and Hillary Clinton saying or saying she's for or against TPP has been a big thing where we're like, well, so 45 times as Secretary of State, she said stuff that seemed to be sort of in favor of TPP, but now she's against it, but she's not going to lobby anyone to vote against it. There are lots of things that candidates state positions on, but don't actively lobby for or against, right? I mean, Donald Trump wants a wall. He's not currently lobbying members of Congress to build the wall. The difference, though, is TPP is moving forward in a way that the wall isn't. TPP impacts 40% of the world economy in a way that the hypothetical wall wouldn't. So is there a criticism here of Hillary Clinton where she says she's against it, but she won't actually try to do anything about it?
Well, I guess that depends on what you think the president's job is.
Well, but not the president. As candidate to president, should she be, in addition to campaigning and saying, one of my presidential campaign things is I'm against TPP, should she, as former senator, former secretary of state, one of the most well-known politicians in the United States at this point, should she be actually trying to stop TPP?
But she's not in a position to. She's just running a campaign. She's just the person running a campaign.
Her position is everybody knows who she is. And if she is the leading candidate to be the Democratic nominee, you think Democratic senators will ignore her if she shows up and says, listen, I'm running against a campaign where I'm against TPP, but you can vote against it right now. She would have influence.
She might. But to answer your question, yes, I think senators would ignore her. Quite honestly. And so while I wish she would, because we don't want this deal to happen, I'm not going to fault her for this. I just don't think it's her responsibility.
I am going to be speaking after the break to former Republican Congressman Bob Ney, and we're going to talk to him about the presidential campaign. We're going to talk to him as a Republican that I see as very, very reasonable. And he happens to be a Republican who spent time in a federal prison for corruption. And he still is way more reasonable than all of the current Republican candidates. We're going to talk to him about how he sees this race. What does he see is going on with the infighting in the Republican Party? What does he see as the future of the Republican Party with regard to retrograde positions on social issues? Bob Ney will join me next, and we will talk to him. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Lewis is on Twitter at Louis Motamedi. And of course, Louis, that's LOUIS MOTAMEDI. You got to get the whole thing. You got to get all those letters in there, but you will find Lewis on Twitter.